How's it going, guys? Alpha here, bringing you my NPL Season 3 Week 3 Team Builder, and this week we take on NC Squared, aka Nate, a good friend of ours, and his Litchfield Park Larvitars, and this is our last divisional game before the last 3 weeks of the season, so it's a really important thing that we win and come out or head into the out of division games at 2-1. We did lose last week. Eric kind of thoroughly kicked my ass. It was only a 2-0, but I feel like he beat me a lot worse than the score indicated. Probably could have 4-0'd me if his Tyrantrum had had enough speed investment to outspeed Mamo. Well, no, because I could have. No, yeah, no. If that were the case, he would have been able to outspeed Mamo and just kind of kick my ass. We'd only lost 2-0, so we're still at a +1 differential. We're taking on Nate, who is also 1-1 right now with a +1 differential. And his team is kind of terrifying. You look at it, you see Tapu Lele, Mega Aggron, Gudra, Emboar, Nidoqueen, Umbreon, Alomomola, Mandibuzz, Cryogonal, Gyarados, Witch's-Zemon, and Raichu, Alolan Raichu, that is. So last week we had to take on arguably the best mon in the format in Landorus Incarnate. And this week we had to take on also arguably the best mon in the format, Tapu Lele. I'm not that worried about Lele, at least not as much as I was worried about Incarnate Lando I, because I have checks for Tapu Lele. Actually, my team actually fares pretty well against Nate's, I think. Just in general, but the mons that I'm bringing specifically seem to have a pretty good handle of his team. The one thing on this entire roster that I am most scared of is his Gyarados, because basically, if it gets to +2 speed, I just lose. Well, not necessarily. If Gastrodon is at low health and he gets to +2 speed, I lose. And even if Gastrodon isn't at low health, I need to bank on a burn, which is not something that I prefer to do. But yeah, so Gyarados is probably the biggest threat on this team, especially with the Z-move. You never know what he's going to try to pull out, whether it's like a Rain Dance set, whether it's just a powerful water type move. He could pack Bounce and use it to Z-Bounce to get a really powerful flying stab move off. There's a lot of things he can do with it, and it's kind of terrifying. So this is the team we're bringing this week. We're leading off with Victini, Orange Julius, our Victini that is, holding the leftovers this week with Victory Star, Substitute, Will-O-Wisp, Bolt Strike, and V-Create, 252 in HP, 252 in attack, and 4 in special defense with an Adamant Nature. Long story short, Victini, after a certain point, puts in massive work against this team. Because of the substitute that I have a pretty good matchup against Emboar. I have a great matchup against Tapu Lele. I have a pretty good matchup against Aggron, assuming I can get it burned. The only things that really cause problems for this set are a physically bulky Nidoqueen. Rocky Helmet Alomomola is kind of annoying, especially if it knocks off my leftovers. Mandibuzz can also be annoying in that respect, and Gyarados if I don't outspeed it, which, let me just check to make sure I actually am calced to outspeed the Gyarados now that I think about it, because that'd be a pretty good idea, I think, if I, make sure I outspeed it. I didn't actually run the calcs here. I know Victini doesn't outspeed a lot of his team with no speed investment. I do not even come close to outspeeding that thing. I might tinker with this a bit. Maybe, let me just see what my calcs say about my V-Create. I'm not really worried about the Bolt Strike. The Bolt Strike is really only there to hit the Emboar and the Gyarados. Let me just see really quickly. I don't think there's anything else in his entire... Oh, and the Alomomola. Let me just pull this setup really quick. I just want to see if there's any way I could run enough speed investment to outspeed a max speed Gyarados and not have to sacrifice the attack investment totally. I really don't have to worry at all about Bolt Strike, I don't think. Wait, what? Huh. A defensive Gyarados can actually take a Bolt Strike if he's Intimidate. That's terrifying. I'm not really concerned about that though. I'm more concerned about whether if he runs defensive Emboar, what my Bolt Strikes are doing. My Bolt Strikes don't do jack shit to a defensive Emboar. But if he runs defensive, I'm not that worried about it because he can't really touch me, so to speak. If he runs a little bit more offensive, whether it's Life Orb or whatever, my Bolt Strikes are doing plenty. What if he runs max HP, max attack? My Bolt Strikes still have a chance to 2-ko, but I mean, even in that scenario, I can't 2-ko him. And if he doesn't run an HP investment, I do 2-ko him. That's the thing, I have to be careful not to lose that 2-ko. How much can I sacrifice? Not a lot to guarantee a 2-ko. I mean, after rocks, it guarantees pretty safely. I just want enough HP, or I mean, I need to, what, beat 141? Is that the calc? 146. God, that's a pain in the ass. Can I do it? I can do it, I just need a lot of speed. Which is unfortunate. What about with 44 EVs and speed? Can I, alright, in attack, what am I looking at? Not 2-koing just straight up, which is kind of a problem. I also need to check Alomomola because I know that it takes Bolt Strikes like a fucking champion. God, that's so annoying. I need to get that thing toxicked. But if I go max, what am I looking at? Max is a guaranteed OHKO. Well, that's only if he doesn't run max HP though, so if he runs max HP, I straight up do not OHKO him, so I don't think I do. Yeah, if he runs a physically defensive Alomomola, I don't OHKO anyways, so, I mean 2-ko. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. This is a great start. I'm already changing all my shit. I just want to make sure that I outspeed a non-Scarf Gyarados. I also have to be careful for the Dragon Dance, obviously, and just have to make sure that I'm ready to take any hits that I might have to deal with. I actually want to see if my Cobalion is capable of taking a Supersonic Flying Strike, or whatever it's called. Supersonic Sky Strike, that's what it's called. I'll get to that in a second. I just really need to know. Hold on. Say he brings Dragon Dance. FlyEMZ. FlyEMZ. Say he brings Moxie, I don't know. Moxie kind of does work against my team. I almost wonder if he'll bring it instead of what do you call it? Level 50. Do I take a bounce? What about a Supersonic Sky Strike? Oh, that's if it's... What is the bounce power of Supersonic Sky Strike? Hold on. Sky Strike, whatever it's called. Hold up. Okay. Let's see. What the moves? Bounce. It's base 160. I'm not taking that. Oh, I am taking it as long as he doesn't have. If he's at +1, I do not take it. Well, I might take it, but not likely. Anyways, so this is Victini. Burns are going to be huge in this match. Mega Aggron. Let's see, Mega Aggron. I guess just the Gyarados and the Mega Aggron, but those are two big things I want to get burned because I don't want to deal with them. If I get subs up and I burn those two, I should be pretty good to run over his team with Victini alone. Next up, we have Azura, our Mega Gardevoir, holding the obviously Gardevoirite with Trace. Hyper Voice, Focus Blast, Psy Shock, and Calm Mind. 252 in HP, 44 in special attack, and 212 in speed. This guarantees that I, after Mega Evolving, outspeed a max speed Gyarados. I'm not all that worried about outspeeding Lele, which is why neither of those mons outspeed Lele, because I have 3 mons that outspeed Lele already, so I don't have to worry about that. Basically, the story here is I outspeed everything on his team except for Raichu, Raichu and Lele, that's it. At +1, I OHKO Mega Aggron after rocks with Focus Blast. I believe I have a chance to OHKO a non-bulky Lele Let me just pull the calc up really quick. I'm pretty sure I have a chance at +1 to Oko a non-bulky Tapu Lele with Hyper Voice. Modest. I don't have a lot of investment, unfortunately. Yes, at +1, I'm almost guaranteed Oko a not bulky Lele. 97.9% is the min roll if he's max speed, max special attack. So that's a pretty good thing to know. Max HP just allows me to take hits a little bit better. Obviously can't get recovery, but it's allows me to, per se, if his switch is going to be Mega Aggron on my Gardevoir all game, I Calm Mind on the turn that Aggron switches in, hit it with a Focus Blast the next turn, and it gets obliterated. Let me just make sure that that's right. I'm pretty sure I've already run this calc. Yes, I have. Yeah, Focus Blast is a guaranteed Oko, with the exception of like a... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. It's a pretty good roll, though. 92 to 109. After rock damage, that's... After rock damage, that is... what am I trying to say? What's the roll after rock damage? That's right. So it's like... I need a really bad roll to not kill, basically. Psyshock is there predominantly for the Nidoqueen. It also helps for the Goodra and the Emboar. Can't do a whole heck of a lot to Alolan Raichu. Hyper Voice obviously hurts it pretty bad, but that's about it. Gyarados kind of takes hits from this thing too, which is a problem. But if I get enough Calm Minds set up, if I get 2 Calm Minds, not many things are taking hits against this thing. Next up, we have Wendy, our Gastrodon. Holding leftovers of Storm Drain, Scald, Recover, Earth Power, and Toxic. 212 in HP, 92 in Defense, and 204 in Special Defense with a Calm Nature. Wendy is an essential cog this week because he has 0 Grass types. His only Grass move options are, besides HP Grass, are... Power Whip on Goodra, Energy Ball on Lele, which I'm thinking he has to run if he wants to be able to get by Gastrodon. What else? Something else gets grass coverage. I don't remember what it is. Maybe not. I don't know. But he does not have a lot of options to deal with Gastrodon. If I could avoid getting hit with an Energy Ball, which I actually can take as long as if he's Scarf Energy Ball with Lele, he actually does not Oko me with Energy Ball. I do not want to take a Scarfed Energy Ball from Lele, though, because if he hits me with that Energy Ball, Gastrodon is very, very, very low, and I cannot have Gastrodon being very, very, very low. Toxic is there for things like Alomomola, for things like Umbreon, for things like Gyarados, if it's a defensive variant, for things like Mandibuzz, for things like Goodra. It's just a very good thing to have. Earth Power is there to hit Mega Aggron if I'm not trying to burn it. It hits Lele harder than Scald. It hits Emboar, but I would rather... No, I would rather Earth Power and Emboar. It's nice to have for Raichu as well. And Recover obviously is there for recovery. Burns are going to be so huge this week, so once again... Always going to be firing off Scalds if I'm trying to get that Aggron or that Gyarados burned. Next up, we have Apache making his season debut. Our Dodrio holding the Life Orb with Runaway because can't run Tangled Feet. And, I mean, it was either Runaway or Early Bird, and he doesn't have any Grass types, so I'm not all that worried about Sleep or anything. Anyways, with moveset being Baton Pass, Double Edge, Jump Kick, and Swords Dance, 252 in attack, 4 in special defense, and 252 in speed with a Jolly Nature. This is because I want to speed tie the Alolan Raichu if it comes down to it. This is not the same scenario as Crobat versus Tapu Koko, though. I will not risk this thing if it comes down to Raichu versus Dodrio. It's not worth it. If I get a Swords Dance up and he doesn't have Raichu, there are very few things on this team that can handle this. Mega Aggron being one, but if Mega Aggron comes in and I haven't jump kicked it already, I pass out to Lancelot or Victini and I just destroy things with this Pokemon, with either one of those Pokemon. They put in huge amounts of work against this team. Double Edge and Jump Kick cover his entire team, like completely. Obviously, because it's Life Orb and Double Edge, this thing does not have a lot of livability. Once it fires off a big Double Edge, it's pretty much brought down to like 30% health. At that point, I'm probably likely to baton pass out to one of my other physical sweepers. The big thing though is this thing can get those big boosts to Victini and to Cobalion. If he doesn't run a max, I don't think it's quite max, but a close enough to max set against Aggron, he cannot OHKO, or I mean he cannot take a +2 V create. It's kind of crazy that he can even take a +2 V create. But go away. Things are popping up. Let me just run the calc just to make sure that I have it right. A +2. With my investment, he actually can take a +2 V create. And that is because I just took all of my attack investment out. Had I not taken the attack investment out, it's a guaranteed OHKO. Maybe. Hold on. Maybe I should run a faster Victini. I'm trying to think because, like... No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways, big thing about this is that, anyways, back to, yes, passing out to either Cobalion or Victini is huge. I want to say that Mega Aggron easily takes 2 jump kicks, which is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. The big thing here, though, is if I get the chance to, if it's low on health, I could pass out to Victini or to Cobalion and pretty much sweep that way. Especially if I get a favorable matchup with Victini, I could put a sub up and then I could spam V create, which is something you don't typically get a chance to do because of the speed drop. So that's really nice. That's pretty much the job here, though. If I get an SD up, he's in trouble. Next up, we have Lancelot, our Cobalion, holding the air balloon with Justified, Stealth Rock, Ironhead, Close Combat, and Stone Edge. I don't have a whole lot of reason to run air balloon this week. The main reason I'm doing it is Earth Powers from Nidoqueen and EQs from Mega Aggron. I mean, that's the entire reason I'm doing it. I guess EQs from Gyarados as well. The big thing here is I don't care if he pops my balloon because I outspeed basically his entire team except for Raichu. And I will be willing to switch in on things like Alomomola, risking the chance he clicks Scald for the chance for him to click Knock Off and me get a Justified boost, because I could do some serious damage to his team that way. And Stealth Rocks are going to be huge. Mainly, he doesn't have a whole lot of weakness to it, but he does have a lot of mons that do not want to continue to switch into it, especially if he wants to switch around my team. Close Combat is huge for hitting Mega Aggron. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it's enough to do enough to make him consider not switching in it every time I go for physical moves. The big thing about this set is that it's my main check to a Calm Minding Tapu Lele. And if he does have a Calm Minding Tapu Lele, I actually might be in trouble. I'm pretty sure a Max Attack Adamant Cobalion OHKOs. I hope. Let me pull that calc up. I'm going to be really sad if it doesn't. Yeah, Max Attack OHKOs as long as he's not running a bulky Lele. If he runs like max HP for some reason, I might be in trouble, but other than that, I should be okay. Other things that I have to consider with this thing, I need to be careful, like I said, about not switching in once I lose my air balloon, not getting caught by the Emboar, because that thing can kind of just shit all over me. Don't want to get burned with this thing, because it is a pretty good handle for a lot of his team, especially the Lele if it's Calm Mind. And I just need to get rocks up, that's the other big thing. Yeah, so that's Cobalion, pretty straightforward. I just really need it to deal with some of his more threatening mons, honestly. So with Stone Edge is obviously there for the Gyarados. If he brings Intimidate Gyarados, I'm not nearly as afraid of it. If he brings Moxie Gyarados, though, that's really, really bad for my team, and that is why we have our final Mon on the team, SJP, or Sarah Jurassic Parker, holding the Choice Scarf for Dry Skin, Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse, and Surf, 112 in Defense, 252 in Special Attack, 4 in Special Defense, and 140 in Speed with a modest nature. That outspeeds his entire team except for Alolan Raichu. Obviously because he he Scarfs, so unless he Scarfs Alolan Raichu, or Tapu Lele, I'll outspeed his entire team. I'm calced to outspeed Gyarados, because if you bring Scarf Gyarados or D-Dance Gyarados with Moxie, I need this thing to Volt Switch on it and kill it. And I need to make sure that that actually does the job first, because if that doesn't do the job, I'm fucked. What do you call this thing? Heliolisk. SJP. Gyarados. Oh, it easily kills. Yeah, even if he brings like a really specially bulky Gyarados, I should be fine. The only problem would be if he brought a sub D-Dance set, but if he does that, he really can't cover things like Cobalion, I guess. Not necessarily the best thing in the world for him, I don't think. But yeah, Volt Switch kills in almost every scenario unless he's holding the Wakanda Berry. And if he's holding the Wakanda Berry, it's not that big of a deal. That's a squad, though, I'm really feeling confident about this week. Last week I kind of didn't really prep the best that I should have. I was so worried about Lando Eye and Volcanion and Scizor that I kind of just like built a crazy team that had no chance of working. This week I feel much better about my odds. I've built a team that I'm comfortable using and a team that I really think should put in work, especially because he doesn't have a lot to deal with Gastrodon. He has almost nothing to deal with Victini, and he has very little to deal with Cobalion. And the combination of that with my EQ switching being obviously Balloon Cobalion, but also Dodrio, it sets me up in a really good position because he can't just spam EQ on my weak Mons, because I have 3 Mons weak to EQ this week. But having Dodrio there is going to be pretty big, because once I get my Victinian with a boost, or once I get Cobalion with a boost, I don't have to worry about the EQ switch. I can take my time if I'm trying to pass a stat to him, and I don't even need to pass the stat. That's the really big thing. If I get enough burns on things, I could take down this team pretty much single-handedly with Victini. So I'm really not that worried about it. Just need to be careful about the Nidoqueen, about the Mega Aggron, about the Lele, of course, even though I'm not that concerned about it. And obviously, the biggest thing being the Gyarados. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys love the video and want to show your support, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also remember to subscribe and drop a stain. Don't forget to share, but sharing is caring. Follow me on Twitter. Because I do up with stuff, if they just come out, it's good in contact with me, and sometimes I'm kind of funny. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.